That's the page, I presume.
Yes.
You'll...
Yeah. So
Yes.
I guess the whole idea of us getting together tonight is around, so in the communication, no, not communication, in your paper, Marilyn, that it had a particular vision to arguably target a younger member demographic.
Yes.
Now, I had, with that in mind, I thought to myself, I've been down this path before with Toastmasters, because it's a very similar demographic in a way to Rotary, in that there's a lot of older people in it. There are younger people, but a lot of older people. So I thought to myself, what are we going to do about targeting a younger demographic? We have Facebook, we have a website, we have a newsletter, we have emails and alike. So we have all this technology to be able to get it out there, whatever it is we want to do as far as targeting goes. And then I thought, well, do we do that now? So that's my first question. Do we actually target, or do we even promote membership to the E-Club of Greater Sydney?
Yes.
Yes or no?
I think the promotion only comes through word of mouth. If you're lucky to be with somebody somewhere and they say, wow, you should join our club. I think, right. What do you think, Ross?
I think, well, we can do some targeted posts, like, for example, we can...
Yeah, but hang on, Ross, I'm asking the question first. Do we already do that?
I don't do that. I don't do that targeted sort of promotion on social media.
Yeah, and have we done it in the past?
No. And I don't think we've done it either by email either. It's generally, like Marilyn's saying, word of mouth, or people transferring from other clubs, or the like,
Yeah, so obviously we must have some sort of profile out there for people that want to come and join us. There must be something out there.
Listen, we had I'm onto the messenger, which comes through Facebook. We had someone come through last night saying, listen, I've seen your E-Club, I'd love to join your E-Club, and I've just directed them to the secretary, for that formal process. They've got to fill out a form and then attend several meetings. So
Ross, that was just on our Facebook, our club Facebook page.
Yeah, the club Facebook,
website.
No, the club Facebook page. Through the club Facebook page, you can send a message to Facebook, which comes to me. And we get various requests for funding. This one was actually joining the club, so I directed them to to take it further.
Okay.
But today, to answer your question, we haven't done any targeted, would you like to join our club type of material.
Okay. So that's a process we have, is it? So if something comes in through whatever mechanism, it gets sent to the secretary?
It comes in ways.
I know it comes in many ways.
Yeah, it'll come in.
Where does it go to?
It usually goes to the secretary or to the membership person. If it's coming through Rotary International, we do get leads through Rotary International when people want to join, and the people at RI, they will send it to the club they think that would be most suited to these people. And often we just get, like, I've got a couple sitting up here that I did get leads for a while back, sent them information, and Amit and Wing Heen, Keith Ching, two of these, they didn't, I've got it in front of me actually, and neither of them replied to me, but
Okay.
they went through Rotary. But no, there's, it usually depends which format it's coming through or medium. So the different media determine who gets it first. Dee would get it as secretary most of the time
Okay.
now. Yep.
Yeah, because it's important, I think, just on that aspect, that we respond, this is just an opinion, that we respond quickly to the people making an inquiry, because that's really important that's our image.
Yeah, I mean, in the example last night, the guy said, do you accept members to your e-club? I said, thank you for your inquiry. Yes, we do. Please contact our secretary for further information.
Yep.
It's Marilyn's. I could have directed them to the membership officer. But I mean, Di will probably forward it to the membership officer in that respect.
Yeah, that's Oscar now.
That's Oscar, is it?
Yeah, Oscar now.
So it's probably
well,
something we need to, we just need to tighten up. I don't know. If you think it's going okay, that's fine. But I think what's important is if the person's pursuing the club maybe to join, we should be giving them what the information they want early on, as against, by the time it goes to Dee, she's pretty quick, like she'll get onto it that night. Like if she's been working all day, she gets on that night and it might go to Oscar, but then will Oscar handle it quickly? I don't know.
No,
probably he
Oscar,
will.
He tries hard. The thing is too, but as you were saying, if they were looking at our Facebook page, if we had nice pictures up there that are inviting, and there's a banner that we can put our own people of action in. I was looking at that today. That people of action has our own photos of our own young people doing things, then we can go ahead with that too. Or also the Rotaract Club that we're working with, doing their blessing bags or whatever.
I was going to say also promoting our 12 international projects that might spark a chord with people. I'm just showing you the website now. It's great. Your photographs come up. And it's on that one. It's a bit more direct, Tony. So you've got, if you'd like to join our club, please click on get involved. And then you click apply for membership. So that's pretty straightforward from the website.
So I guess so the idea is just what Marilyn said, is about there's a whole host of images and I guess content that we could use, and whether it be on the website, whether it be on Facebook, or in fact, if you look at the e-club of Rotary e-club of, with Social Impact Network, they also have an Instagram account. Now, Instagram is a social networking site that targets the group that we might be interested in.
Young people, And then don't forget TikTok as well.
I don't want to go down the TikTok, but Instagram might be something.
How to use either.
But we don't have to. We don't have to. I'm just mentioning it. But we can, I guess, enhance and embellish our Facebook page, for example, with some promotion. And I think it needs to be regular. It's not just, you just don't do it once and let it slide.
Tony and Marilyn, are we trying to capture people like of a Rotaract age that may be moving on from Rotaract, or what?
It's a good question, Ross. It's a good question.
Because there's Rotaracts up until age 30, I believe, Marilyn, is that right?
Yes, but they can be in both now.
Can they? Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I think.
So, Marilyn, when you identified that as the vision, what age group did you have in mind?
Well, I think it's the Rotary vision that I was supporting, but I still think that we need to get these younger people, that it doesn't matter what age group, as long as they're old enough to join and we can accept them, because some of them might not go to Rotaract. Some of the young presidents are in their 21. One fellow remember last year we had 2 people who spoke, and both of them were so young, and they were the youngest in the world. And you think, well, strike, in my club at Hawkesbury, we had a young lady. She's now in Parliament, but she is she used to have the first baby and used to bring it in a bouncinette, put it on a table.
Right. Wow.
But are we ready? Are we ready for that as an E-club? Are we ready
to have
for
those sorts
a
of
younger dynamic? Yeah. Like, it's just a question because...
You see,
Sorry.
the younger people need to do though. And I think I know Ross and I have both spoken about this in the past. I feel that I can't do what a lot of people do in our club because they have the resources, the money and so on, but I give my time and work that way. But a lot of the young ones want to have hands-on in some way and be able to be doing something. We won't tie them down that much if we had young people being in our club because we only have one.
I mean, there's a suggestion of a club project which we could all. The thing is, our club is based around these RORCs, 12 RORCs international projects, and so yes, people can support them, and people do. I do, others do, but I guess to bring a young person in, maybe. Well, here's an idea. For example, Annabelle or Judith's or Lucy's projects, maybe from time to time, now the pandemic's eased, they may need young people to go over to Africa, to go over to East Timor, to go over to those places to assist them in projects like that.
Barbara's been saying, Barbara would love people to go over there in a group, to go over and help out at her.
Help out.
This could be.
Is that an angle that we can?
Of course it is. Of course it is. Nothing's off the plate. But the other side of the coin is that local projects that are looking for, and I'm thinking not just local projects that our club might run, but there are local projects. For example, I'm thinking of one with my local school, public school. I'd spoken to the president, the principal recently, in the last few months, about they have an environmental project coming up. Now that's not much fun for the E-club because we're so geographically dispersed, but there might be an opportunity whereby a young person, for example, they might come from on the Central Coast. I'm on the Central Coast along with a number of other people, and at the same time we could link with another Rotary club, maybe, and get manpower or person power, whatever you like, or experience or whatever, and co-experience this community event, which is giving the member, the younger member, the idea of the hands-on is all about. That's just a thought.
Yes.
Has that been done before, Marilyn? Like we partner with another Rotary club on projects?
Not really, and I think this is a waste when we don't. I often go to things and I hear even for the ones overseas, I think there's a whole waste of money and resources and time at times, because you hear, I'm doing this in East Timor, for example, and someone else says, oh yeah, I'm doing something there. Oh, I am. Why don't they all sort of work together? This group that we are working on this project for that group. But I was just thinking, as Tony was talking, the Rotary Club of Umina supports the science experience, because I'm using an example here that I'm aware of. They will pay for 10 students to go to Victoria to go to the university for the science experience. But it's because they support the big ag plot that school has. Now, when I was teaching, Dudley joined Rotary because I had seen an ad for Rotary Down Under. I wasn't in Rotary. This was about 20, I don't know. I'm trying to think now. When I joined in 2003, I think. So then Dudley.
I thought you've always been in Rotary, Marilyn.
Well, Dudley went in before I did because I was teaching science and I saw an ad for Rotary Down Under to give schools greenhouses to grow trees. But we were having this Rotary RDU might have been doing it, and it was trees down under. And we were trying to get all these trees out and grow them. And I saw this, so I approached the local Rotary club. Never heard of Rotary before. This was in Windsor. And I went to this club, all male, stood up there and said, this is what I'd like. I want $500 for these people to help me put this in our school. And I saw some of the men sort of nudging each other and whispering, and I thought, oh, I've lost them, you know. And I finished talking and I thought, oh, Rotary's nothing, is it? You know, and I'm thinking, what did I come for? Just the free meal. You know? Anyway, next minute, one of them puts his hands up and he says, we're all farmers, as you know, all that Hawkesbury area, it's all flooded now, but they're all turf farmers, orchardists, they had everything. And they said, we're not going to pay for someone to put it in for you. We're going to give you one that's bigger and better and everything. And they came down, this whole group of Rotarians, and they started putting up this greenhouse that was about 4 metres tall, shelving, everything for me, water. And Dudley, went home to Dudley, who was teaching at Muirfield, which is agricultural high school, and said, I might go down and help them tomorrow. So he came down, he said, gee, they're a nice lot of blokes. I'm going to ask them, can I join Rotary? And that's how Dudley joined Rotary.
Right.
And then we had that relationship with the school and locals, and our kids saw, you know, the senior, everybody had that for their HSC. And then they started growing trees in the school for the local mushroom farm to put it trees, all the seedlings all the way along to put the trees there to shelter the place, and also the train line you could see. So, you know, there was all that relationship, but it's there if we can do it.
Yeah, right. I've never heard this before, Marilyn. This is interesting to hear this background of yours.
Yeah, and I think it's changed a little bit though over time, hasn't it, Marilyn? Like it may not be the same. I
know the young people.
I'm not being negative. I'm just saying, you know, over what is it? How long would that be ago? 15 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's an example, Ross, of what can be.
You know that presentation we had a few weeks ago. There was a guy that stood in for that other guy that didn't speak about koalas, and he spoke about all those clubs on the Gold Coast, right? And what my take-home message from that was, younger people in business, they've set up business clubs and young people clubs. They want action. They want to do things, right? They don't want to sit around in meetings. Yeah. So I think partnering with another Rotary club, or partner with an organisation that is doing something locally, which doesn't involve a big financial commitment on our part, because we're not a financial club. I think that might be an option for us to bring in those young people.
Yeah, and the other one is, of course, is how many Rotary action groups have we got? There's a lot of, Ross, you're in the environmental one, and Marilyn, no doubt you're in 2 or 3.
I'm in about 4.
Yeah. So the point is they're you know, getting your hands dirty stuff.
That's right.
You know, so there's plenty of fodder for the younger member to come in and experience, you know, on the ground stuff, not having to sit there and listen to waffle. And you could get them involved in, they can report, they can present. So you're building their skills or taking advantage of the skills that they have, and you're possibly getting new members.
What's the requirement, Marilyn, for membership? Members have to attend a certain amount of meetings, don't they?
Not now. They don't.
Now?
We don't have to be. Not no. Nobody checks on it. We used to do it, and even see with Dudley and me, neither of us would have to attend meetings now. We're so old. You add your age to the number of years of membership, and you know, you become one of these. I forget what they are now. But I'm not going to do that.
Well, I'm like that guy Sharp. You know, he's still a member, but he never attends meetings. But we still let him in. He pays his dues and all that. Sharp. I forget. He's on the Central
Well, neither
Coast.
does Russell Hagan.
Yeah.
Who knows Russell? I do. I live near him at Glenorrey. He was just down the road from us, and he just wouldn't learn to use the computer. But
Right.
he was asked in the club to make up the numbers. He's been in it as one of the first members in our club because
I guess what I'm saying, Anthony, is, or Tony, is yes, we accept young members, but we've got to make it attractive to them. Some of the presentations that we've had, I'm not sure they'd sit through, and the speakers we've had, I'm not sure they'd sit through. That's not their demographic. But if we were to accept those members in, those young people doing activities and then perhaps presenting back to what they're doing, well, that might work.
Yep.
But we couldn't expect them to attend every single meeting. I'm not sure.
No, and I'm not saying they have to, but this is just a discussion. It's like you just said to me they wouldn't sit through all those presentations. What they would sit through is a 5-minute YouTube video on a koala project or on something that's happening in Somalia.
Yeah.
That they can get involved in, like hunger or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's short, sharp, and snappy. And like our Rotary, our ESRAGs, for example, or Barbara's Kinney project or whatever, if there's to complement a report that obviously we seek, maybe there needs to be a little video of it that, like at the moment, reading her last report, there's money required, there's kids being selected to go to schools and all that sort of stuff. But if you could cram that down into 5 minutes, that'd be so rich. I
think we need to reinvent our YouTube channel. I've followed up with Evan. He's lost the passwords. So I'm proposing to set up a new channel, and maybe we can start creating content and for this very purpose, Tony.
Right.
But I mean, little steps. I mean, there's a lot to do in this, but maybe the first one you might create, for example, why not take advantage of the environment? I don't know, Ross. You've got a first-hand. You've got a first-hand. What's the word I'm looking for? Experience there, because you've got some targets of what you're trying to do within the club.
I mean, I can interview Judith and Lucy and like a couple of minutes to outline our program.
The honeybees.
A short, sharp, have a little focus on honeybees perhaps and recycling, what we're trying to bring in. We're having a meeting tomorrow about this, and have a little couple of minute video. I can mention it tomorrow. We're having a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, so but it's about communicating to our target audience. Yeah, we're not all old fuddy-duddies.
You could do one on Toastmasters, like how to speak.
Exactly.
3 minutes, maximum 3 minutes.
Exactly. So
and what if we put it? These could be the link could, if they're YouTube, can't you put them into our club website page?
Absolutely. Yep.
Where put that up, we've got all this writing about each of the projects. But if each project had a thing, click on here. Because I've got a great one there that I listened when I went to the AGM for ESRAG the other night. They had this thing on corals, and it's a beautiful video. But you need just something nice to grab people's attention. Watch that quickly and get off it. And if you want more, read the rest of the art.
Short and sharp.
And podcasts as well. I haven't even investigated podcasts, but there could be, I don't know what podcasts are out there that Rotary creates. So that's another avenue, because that's something that they can have on their phone or whatever they have. Yeah. And that's what you got to get to. If you want to get their attention, they're on their phone.
That's like Spotify or those other type listener apps.
Whatever, yeah. So that's the sort of, I guess, the sort of thinking that we need to do to be able to even start to attract a younger audience, I think.
You're saying we're getting too old? We need new younger people?
I'm not saying we are. We are getting old. Older, anyway. And we're not going to be. We're not going to be here forever.
No, that's right.
So I don't want this, to go past the time. And I think we've covered a lot as far as You know, we've got technology. We've now got a target of what we're trying to do. It's membership, and it's a specific membership group, and it's 18 years because that's the minimum age they can come in. Correct, Marilyn?
Yep.
So it's 18. I don't know, 18 to 35. Is that a good target?
Yeah, 18 to 95.
Well, yeah, but we've already got the 95-year-olds.
I mean, I was in Rotaract and I enjoyed my time there, but Rotaract for me was about fun, about making connections, about helping out. We helped out in some Rotary projects. I helped out on a project in Papua New Guinea, but Rotaract by nature, we didn't have the funding nature. Now our club is not financial either, but we've got a lot of connections. We've got a lot of international reach. We've got to really highlight some things I think which would appeal to young people. To be blunt, in its current form, I don't think you'd get much interest. We need to reinvent ourselves a bit, I think.
Yeah, and you said, Marilyn, you used the word fun. That's what we need back in the club.
Yes,
It's fun. We want the existing members to relearn what that's all about, like in different ways, whether it's not, might be getting together, but if you're interacting, you're going to have fun.
Yeah, not just in it for the Rorke's fun, the Rorke's requirements.
That's right. Like, I mean, the Rorke's is wonderful. Don't get me wrong, 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever it is, projects that we have, and they're all wonderful projects.
Yeah.
And the people that manage them, I take my hat off to them. But there's still a whole world of local projects, community projects that are more focused at what group we want to do, what group we want to target, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Did this come out also in the survey as well about membership?
No. The only bit that would back this up in the survey would be that there was an indication that the amount of service projects we did in the club could have been more.
Right.
It's very generic. There's still analysis to be done. And do you want to have something, Marilyn, done by the board meeting on that, or what do you want to do? Like, we can't just do the survey and we haven't done anything. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. I looked at it and I thought, well, how do I bring it in? And what are we going to do with it? I hoped that it would sort of we'd be able to use it with the different directors, but there wasn't terribly much that was specific. Did you think? Have you looked at it, Ross?
I haven't seen it. I mean, is it something we need to address at a club assembly, or can we bring it into this visioning that you're proposing?
I hope that's what I would hope so. I mean, my original idea was to get it so that I could look at it from a strategic perspective and go. So I've done that initially, but the raw data is the one that is really good. The two reports that are associated with it, just are a general. It's the raw data that's where all the good.
Here's a point. Okay, so we got about 12 international projects, Rorke's projects, I believe, on the go. Maybe a couple more, and we've got about 32 or so members. So if you look at those numbers, we've actually got more people just as members which aren't involved in those Rorke's projects than there are. So I think that's a gap of things, of people that, like, for example, me, I don't have an international project. You don't, Tony. You don't, Marilyn. So what about us?
That's right. So that's just
a local one?
That's right. So so I look at Lucian. He's my example of a local project.
That's great.
Like the Blue Mountains. They were doing mental health toolboxes or something, or they were doing. There's the Big Red Bus, or whichever bus it is.
He's done a lot.
There's a lot of, and that's working. That's working with other Rotary clubs, but and I think people have supported Lucian from the E Club.
Oh, yes.
And gone along to things or supported in other ways. So that's a really good example of how that could work. But
there's a lot of money through the barbecues up there at Katoomba. And
Yes.
some members have travelled up there to help out. I know Oscar and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
oh,
he-
I've been
yeah,
up there once. Yeah.
I went
exactly.
once. Too far
Yeah.
for us now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying we have some good stuff happening. That is what we're talking about, you know. But it goes back to your point, Ross, is that there's 18 of us per se that, or whatever it is, that have capacity, if I can call it that.
That's right. We have capacity, and I really think we need to partner with other Rotary clubs and other community organisations to get involved. You know.
Well, you what were we saying the other night about this? That I got a fuzzy head now because of all my drugs in me. I'm thinking, oh,
You're looking all right, Marilyn.
Oh, I don't feel it. Yeah, I think my throat's got ulcers coming out into my ears at present.
Are you better than Dudley, or about the same as Dudley?
No, Dudley's better than I am at present. Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. What were we saying then about?
No, you were saying.
The other day we were talking. Tony and I were talking about the fact that we need to have a list of all the people that are doing community service in the club, because I do community service here.
Yeah.
And I've sent it to our community service people, you know, to record, because I do Rotary reading every Tuesday down at the school. Now, you know, I meet people there and they say, oh, are you in Rotary? Yes, we don't have a Rotary club. It folded, didn't it?
Yeah.
I tell them about ours, and then you go on and go like that, you know. But we do need a list somehow.
And don't you need that for the working with children requirements as well?
Yes. Oh, what they do?
Yeah. Do they need to know what we do? No.
No, I don't. It goes the other way. The school, I have to have mine given to the school, and then the school does the check back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They verify that I should be doing that working at that school.
But the point is, you know, that Marilyn's making is that we don't even know what service projects, local, really, I don't, that people are doing. I'm a new.
Are you talking about a register of what people are doing? That'd be good.
Yes, I think we need it.
Because we need to know, because people are saying, let's say the broad brush, maybe we don't have enough local projects, you know, as part of the survey. And maybe they're right.
People every year might do Clean Up Australia Day. I know up until the pandemic, I was doing the City to Surf fundraising, you know.
Yes.
We've helped out with that. Yeah.
You did.
We did that. Came over.
But whether you've done it or not, it's a good thing to collect, because those things still exist.
And also the connections, like, for example, I'm connected through Rose Bay Rotary and also Bondi Junction through that, because they organise that,
Exactly.
right?
That's right.
So that's a partnership, right?
And involved our club. So there was that interaction there with those clubs with you. Yeah, well done. Yeah, and I also, when we had Bobby Redmond come here to speak, because we have so many of our people who live around us who we've noticed are living with dementia, and Bobby is part of Dementia Australia, and is her dementia is really advanced now, and she came to speak to a couple because the woman wasn't handling it and she was staying with us, and I said, well, what about our social committee lets them all come into the theatre and we have a proper presentation? And she loved it. And we filled the theatre once and wanted it, so we had to get her to do it again the next morning. And from that, they've asked her back again. And I said to her, can you tell people about DCAF, which is a Rotary program, which is the Dementia Cafe. We've now, Dudley and I and our social committee, started a similar Rotary thing here. So there's another big project we've just begun as a service project.
And what's the group called, Marilyn?
We call, I told you, didn't I? They chose their name because we couldn't use the DCAF, Dementia Cafe, because that's the road. But Lucian's going to do Dementia Cafe up the mountains. He's going to try that one. And he's been talking with me about how we're going. But ours chose their own name. They've got their little badge that we've made, and it's called the Forget-Me-Nots. And
Forget-Me-Nots.
I love it.
The people chose themselves. we didn't impose it on them. We're letting the people do it, you know, and now they choose what they want to do at the meetings. They have, you know, and we're giving people respite.
Such an important issue. Yeah, so important.
Yeah. So, look, the fact that we're recording this is making life so much easier because as a forget-me-not, I will not. And we'll have all this information. So, look, I don't want to hold up any more of your time unless you guys have any questions, but I think we've covered a lot of ground. I think, Ross, if you...
Thank you.
No, pleasure. To do maybe some investigation into the YouTube.
Yep.
And, you know, maybe have a look at some of the content, the imagery on the brand portal. And maybe it's not, maybe not yet quite ready to post anything yet, but maybe, I don't know if you can, you know, storyboard it a bit, maybe.
Yeah, I've just give me some time. I'm sort of I've got to get past this environment stuff.
I'm not saying do it now, but I'm just saying I wonder if is it possible, like, I don't know, Marilyn, do we have any space on at the board meeting?
There are a few things coming up, but the board meeting, we could start it just for the first one, started a bit earlier because we haven't put I'm talking to Dee tomorrow about what we have got on the agenda, because we've got a few things that I've got, and Tony, you had a few things. I think I talked to Judith the other day, and Judith had a few things, but basically your group, Ross, is talking, you're the speakers. So, but what I would like is a rundown of the board meeting given at the beginning of the meeting straight away.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
I think we've lacked that for years now. We always used to say, have the points, right? And then people could read the notes later, but we can say, we'll discuss this, this and this at the board meeting. Now we'll have our guest speaker or the speaker.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Keep people informed, and hopefully we don't go over time as well. Like that was a real bugbear last year.
Yes, there were too many people speaking.
Well, too many agenda items as well.
That's right. Oh, for the board. That's right. And but we'll work that out.
We're looking forward to a great year with you, Marilyn.
Yeah, we are.
Great year.
Stop.
But just with this,
no pressure, by the way, no pressure.
No, I know that, Ross. I know you will.
but really, this could be happening in the background. What we're talking about, but we can just bring it to the attention of the board.
Oh yes, it just doesn't need to be a full discussion.
You know, it could be a minute's worth of this is what's happening in the membership promotion space. So maybe, you know, Oscar needs to get in on the discussion as well.
Yes,
as the membership director. Yes. So maybe why not, you know, Ross, if you want, pull, and I imagine you would agree with this, Marilyn, pull Oscar into the discussion.
Sure. Yeah.
And you know, I can provide the recording if he needs to know what we discussed, so it enlightens him and brings him along for the ride too.
Yeah. I think that one of the things I think we can start with, I'll look at it tomorrow, maybe that banner that you can get from
the banners are great.
Yeah. I love this one from Rotary, service, friendship, fun. I mean, that'd be great to bring that back to our club, you know.
Yes.
But I mean, these other banners, fantastic, you know.
But you can put
photo in. See, there's one there where you've got the banner with whatever it is, connect, I thought I saw, and you can either use their photo or you can use your own photo for something that you're
okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Exactly.
Cool. Great.
Yeah, like they're all allowed to be personalized, I guess.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you know, not that we get together that often, but you can literally get a banner made up at like Officeworks for $99.
Yeah.
Pull up banners, you know. So they're a good thing too if you're doing a project and you want to promote your club. But yeah, anyway.
have some of those pull-up banners.
Yeah, there was an offer made by district. I think we got a few of those. Actually.
Okay.
I said to the membership person, you know, can you give us a grant? And they did. And they paid for it.
Good.
Yeah, but I think they need replacing with the new branding because that was a few years ago.
Yeah, like I thought we might have them at the changeover, but maybe the branding wasn't appropriate. So
Yeah.
I don't know where they've gone now.
we can't have the Opera House, for example.
No, that's right. We got into trouble for having the Opera House. God,
Yeah.
golly, when it was Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
So
That's
really,
great.
that's all I wanted to discuss. It was purely a discussion to capture some ideas and interact about one thing, and that is targeting a new membership group and how we can do it.
Yep.
Or how we might do it. So
Yeah, one step at a time. And thank you for you both commented on the plan. I think if we keep to looking, get people looking and saying, well, I've got that, that's what I've got to do. This is what I've got to do, instead of just waffling around the place, would be good. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully, so just with that plan, Marilyn, so that in the club service or within any director's portfolio, you've got the goals there. Yeah. Do we have to personally enter in our goals into Club Central?
No, I've done it already.
Good. Yep.
I went through it. The only ones that are in Club Central, the ones from Club Central that we were supposed to look at were the ones I've done in purple with a number beside them.
Okay, all right, good.
So they're weird numbers, and I put that down the bottom of the email. I used the number that Club Central talked about and transposed them across to our plan, but I kept in it what we have done and had over the years in the other bits of it. So the ones without numbers were already in the plan 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We had planned all that and done it. So we're just keeping in and maybe taking it. I took a couple out that didn't work and left the good ones in. So we've got Club Central and our own in that. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Excellent. All right.
Thank you so much.
That's it.
That's it.
I'll see you on Sunday.
Sunday.
So what, 6:15 board meeting?
It usually is. We'll see what Dee says tomorrow about how many things we've got. If you can send in to Dee what you want in the agenda, and we'll see what we have to put it in, because I know that Judith wanted to part a point, but to say something. But I think mainly your time will be in the other meeting. Yeah.
I had a conversation with Tony last week, and I raised a few points with you, Tony. I think are you raising those points in the board meeting?
Which points were they? Oh, okay.
Mainly about School for Life, for example.
I read. Yeah, I don't know. I've had a little bit of thought about it. I can raise them, but I've also rethought them. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I probably need one bit of advice, and Marilyn, maybe whether you can give it to Ross. So with the School for Life, my question is, and it was mentioned, is there some sort of written agreement that the E-Club would sponsor the School for life?
It's for the schooling of one child until he leaves school, but I don't know whether it's, and then he goes to university, will we be sort of, I think it was only while he was at that school, but Tony Casserly started it. He supported one child, and he also asked the club to support, but I wasn't. Ross, were you there when you're a charter member, are you?
Yep. Oh, no, I'm not a charter member. No.
No, well, you wouldn't have seen it either. We don't. Tony Casserly's the one who will determine, or be able to clarify it for us.
Okay, so the second thing is, my comment was, when I was talking to Ross, was Annabelle's no longer a member of our club.
Yes.
Is it appropriate that, the funding still exists? So I originally thought, well, how does that work? And then I thought, well, this is bigger than one member. This is actually a project. It wouldn't matter who it was, but it's bigger than one person.
Well, we're actually sponsoring a child, a specific John, the one child. So I think we're sort of committed to that child, despite the fact that Annabelle makes, so much on her fundraising and the school. What did they get this time, Ross? Over $1 million, wasn't it, for their ball?
Oh, they get huge amounts from their ball. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
this issue is not new, Tony. It's come up before.
Yeah.
And the
People
comment back
react
was,
to it
well,
every time.
it's for life. You have to fund that for life. So, but like to your 2 points, A, Annabelle's no longer a member of our club, and B, where's the written agreement to say that? I mean,
Yeah, that's probably more the point. But I can
that's
understand.
a question for Tony Castley, actually.
So is Tony still a member of our club?
Yeah.
Is he? He is. He is.
I just thought I saw something. I don't remember, but I thought
there was a rumor spreading around that he was moving on, but I think that's been squashed.
Okay,
I
good.
heard that too, that he was going to start a Rotary club for Rorke's Rotary people only. But that, I don't know that it went any further. No,
Good.
he's still paid his dues. Actually, we've been good with that. We've only got one who hasn't paid his dues yet, and he's promised. So we've had to pay our bill anyway, so it's all over.
I've got to go. So,
Okay, I do too. So thank you for your time, guys, and see you on Sunday.
Thank
All
you.
right.
See you.
Hoorah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take
Stay
care,
safe.
Marilyn.
Yeah,
Get better soon.